Hi everyone, and happy Sunday. I hope you guys have been enjoying your weekend. Here's your weekly update for the week of May 4th through May 8th. So just a brief review of where we are. We finished the Civil War. Remember, it all ended at Appomattox Courthouse, which was originally a battle that lasted for about 2.5 to 3 hours, but then instead of having further loss of life, Lee decided to surrender his Army of Northern Virginia, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the surrender. We talked about African Americans in the Civil War. They actually had a bigger role than you might think. There were completely colored regiments, which you guys are going to be seeing in Glory. And a lot of people actually didn't like that there were African Americans in the Civil War for the Union Army. And you're going to see that too. There was a lot of racism in the Union Army, which was unfortunate, but that's just the way it was. So I want you guys to start think about what happens after the war, because we're going to be concentrating on that after we finish Glory. We're going to be examining the new amendments that were added to the Constitution and what the after effects of the bloodiest war in American history was for both the Union and the Confederacy, which has now come back together as the United States. So this week we're going to be looking at some culture during the Civil War. We're going to be examining baseball and kind of where it got its start and what it used to be called and just how it how it had an impact in the Civil War. Later in the week after park testing, we're also going to be starting the film Glory, which is going to be about 3.5 to 4 days. There will be an assignment that goes along with Glory, but I'll tell you guys about that once we start Glory. So what to expect for this week: more park testing. Make sure you guys get a good night's sleep and eat a good breakfast beforehand. It only goes until Wednesday, so it's not that long. We're going to be learning about the culture of the Civil War, including the origins of our nation's pastime, which happens to be my favorite sport. And we're also going to be watching Glory at the end of the week. So some reminders. Your most influential battle of the Civil War assignment is past due. It was due yesterday morning at 11:11 a.m. on Schoology. If you haven't turned it in and you haven't spoken to me about why Schoology was giving you issues, you are going to be getting points off. However, I would very strongly recommend either putting it on Schoology now or typing up the assignment and giving it to me tomorrow to avoid further points being taken off. I also want to remind you that Glory is going to have language in it that requires your maturity and respect. This is a rated R movie, guys. You sign the permission slip, so I expect you to act like mature 7th graders, and if you don't, I have no problem sending you to Mr. Cleary. So continue studying the notes on the Civil War. There is a definite possibility for a quiz after we finish with Glory. And I'm going to tell you right now, I won't tell you the day of the quiz. However, I will tell you that the quiz will be on the Civil War. So I suggest you study the packet that we covered in class for the past week or so. That's all I have for you guys this week. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.